We are live. Let's go. All right. Happy Monday, everybody. Let's have some fun. A little Q&A. I got some questions for y'all. Here we go. And we are live on Insta. Rock and roll. All right, my friends, fire away. I know it's we're looking at 4 o'clock right now, East Coast, 1 o'clock West Coast. Thank you for your patience, my friends. It's been an action-packed morning, that's to say the least. My daughter, actually, she just got braces today. So she's working through that right now. But as promised, we had to go get ice cream afterward. It's the tradition after any of our kids get braces. So, yo, what's up, Cal S. Goodman? Yo, what's up, dude? Beth from Pittsburgh. I must say, I love Pittsburgh. What a fun city. Uxbridge. Where the heck is Uxbridge? Cummings 4423. It sounds like it's got to be the UK. What's up, Autumn? Venezolana presente. Hola, amiga. All right. Yo, what's up? I see Dodd Witt 806. What's going on? Nicaragua's in the house. D-Fox 318, congratulations, my friend. She has lost 30 pounds. Let's give her some love, everybody. I see Finland is here. It's Marjo. I think Marjo from Finland. Chicagoland. Hello, Nicole from Chicagoland. That's a fun. Chicago is such an awesome city because you get the big city, the huge city feel, but like the small city, like small town niceness. I hate to generalize, but I just must say I've met the nicest people in Chicago. All right, heading over here to Facebook. Yo, what's up, Wendy? Good to see you, my friend. Hello, Brenda. Wendy, good on you guys. Wendy is watching from her walking pad. How awesome is that? I got my walking pad underneath me. I've tried to do these lives from a walking pad before. It doesn't work well. It's just because my mind's going so fast. It's kind of hard. It's like a chewing gum and walking thing at the same time. So that's awesome, Wendy. Mendy from Indianapolis. Oh, go Pacers. Let's rock and roll. I see Deanna from Denver. Another incredible city. I absolutely love that place. Like for 3 months of the year, we would live over in like Stapleton area, like Aurora, Stapleton, because I would work out of the University of Colorado. They got the Anschutz Wellness Center there. It's just amazing. All right. Oh, Sarah's in the house too. And she's on her walking pad. You guys are champs. So Wendy and Sarah, and I'm sure there's going to be a few more hopping on here right now. They're all in the collective, which is my private coaching group. It's so awesome to see you guys on here. And the fact that you're on your walking pad, you're earning brownie points right now. So good on you, my friends. Laura's here. She's right here in Phoenix, just a stone's throw away from me right here in Mesa. Steve Alvey, what's up, dude? Victoria's coming at us from the UK. I see Angela in Houston, Caroline, Canada, Westminster, Massachusetts. Ruby was just having a tough time saying Worcestershire the other day. Sorry, Westminster, Worcestershire, very different, but nevertheless, we were working on Worcestershire sauce yesterday. Let's see, Sarah from Italia. I would say, let me see. I don't know much Italian. Buongiorno. There you go. Susan, hey, what's up, Susan? What's up, my friend? By the way, Susan, amazing post on Circle the other day. Thank you for sharing. Just incredible to see the transformation. Yo, Eddie, my man, we got the whole collective in the house right now. And Beth Tupper. What's up, Beth? Yo, Beth, I told you those payday. Look, guys, hey, listen. If y'all love payday bars, we actually made a healthy version. It's got twice the protein, a fraction of the fat, half the calories. They're payday. We call them payday power balls. And they're rolled in white chocolate and then rolled in dry roasted salted peanuts. But the nougat is almost all protein. It's like peanut butter powder. It's vanilla protein. We use allulose syrup as a binding agent to keep it together, and they smash. I'm so glad that you made them, Beth, because I'm so glad you love them as much as I do. Everyone I give them to is like, holy smokes. Don't worry, guys. The recipe will be coming soon. They will be coming soon. But in the meantime, yeah, that was a really fun one. We had a blast with it. Yo, Susan is here. What up, Susan Connor from Phoenix? Moira's in the house as well. Oh my gosh. Got the whole clan is here. So cool. All right, yes, guys, check this out. Okay, Kelly Wexel, props to you, my friend. She's been carb cycling now for 3 weeks. She said she's having massive life-changing realizations, down 5 pounds in 3 weeks, and changed her relationship with food and crazed eating over your whole lifetime. I'm so glad. Look, guys, I'm going to shoot it all straight. To lose weight, you just need to be in a calorie deficit, okay? Like we get that. That's just the science of it. That's the laws of thermodynamics. And so anytime you're going to create a calorie deficit, whether it's keto or carnivore or zone or Atkins or Pritikin or Ornish or South Beach or carb cycling, it's going to work. Why do I love carb cycling so much? Number one, it gives you so much flexibility because yes, you can eat carbs, but it also teaches you how to eat carbs and utilize them to optimize your body for weight loss. But at the same time, forget all the optimization stuff. It just gives you flexibility to eat some freaking carbs. That's fun. And that's freedom unto itself. And then you also get to eat lower carb, higher fat stuff. So you get your cereal, you get your pasta, you get your breads, but then you also get your cheese and you get your heavy cream and you get your bacon and you get all those different things. You switch them up on different days. Why do we do that? For body awareness, for exactly what she just said, life-changing realizations. It teaches you about your body. That's the beauty of it. So I'm so glad you found carb cycling, Kelly. There's a reason why I've written 2 books on it. Well, 3 books technically, and we're working on a 4th, but the 4th book, it's a recipe book. We know this, and I've told you guys about it, and don't worry, it's coming soon, and we'll have the payday Powerball bites in there as well. So, and Eddie's coming to us from probably one of my favorite places in the world. That's West Palm Beach, Florida. Doesn't get much better than that. Except right now, except this time of year when it's insanely muggy there and it's insanely hot here in Arizona. So, yeah, Sarah, you got some catching up to do. You better make those payday Powerballs. They are insane. Brody's coming from upstate New York. What up, Brody? We were just I was testing my kids today on the state capitals, and Albany was right there in the mix. Here we go. Let me see here. Mirage. Okay, so Mirage is saying she got a question already. She's saying as soon as she starts working out, her appetite spikes. How can she still get into a calorie deficit when the smell of sugary, salty foods, she can smell them within a mile away? Guys, what a brilliant, I love the question. Thank you so much for asking. And so guys, yeah, let's dive in. But then I got some questions for y'all. So we're going to have some fun with this. This is going to be a little bit of a back and forth. So let's talk about this. Yes, Mirage, it's you're not going crazy. This is not a mind thing. It is absolutely natural when you start moving more, and especially when you elevate your heart rate for a longer period of time, prolonged period of time, your appetite's going to it'll increase. Sometimes some would say exponentially. But that's a relative term. Nevertheless, there is a subsequent increase in appetite when you are doing higher intensity work. This is one of the reasons why when you're on the weight loss journey, this is actually why I actually recommend all of my clients don't do cardio anymore. We don't do cardio. I know that sounds crazy. I'm not saying that cardio isn't good for you. Cardio is freaking amazing for you. But it's really important, though, that we don't do high intensity cardio because of its impact on your appetite. And so this is why we scale it back, not just that, but also higher intensity work. If you're at a calorie deficit, you are going to consume more muscle. So I'm going to highly recommend, this is why you want to stick to resistance training and walking. There's a reason why it's all the craze nowadays, especially with all the research, all the literature that's coming out about the benefits of walking because of how it allows calorie expenditure, but at a lower intensity. So your body is not going to consume or cannibalize nearly as much muscle. So it's going to help preserve that muscle. But then, of course, adding in the stimulus from resistance training will keep that stimulus alive. And that way, the proteins that you're consuming is going to go to remodeling that muscle. So resistance training, walking, between the two of those, they are not nearly as powerful at stimulating your appetite. Because I would say appetite, a strong appetite, we're talking like hunger and cravings, is probably one of the biggest enemies of weight loss. You cannot win that war. You can win the small battles, hour to hour, but in the long run, you ain't going to win that war. It's a really difficult thing to do. You can only white knuckle it for so long. So that's why I'm going to highly recommend. You'll probably notice the greatest stimulation in your appetite when you're doing like high intensity interval training, higher intensity cardio, longer duration. It's good to do it every time. I'll tell you what, anytime I go out on a run, I love running in the desert and everything. I come back and I can eat. I just want to eat everything in sight because I'm freaking starving. Now I run because I'm in maintenance. And so, but if I'm on the weight loss journey, I ain't going to run. I'm going to do resistance training and I'm going to do my steps. And then when I cross that first finish line and I move on into the next chapter, now I'm going to start to adopt more cardio because I can consume more calories. I can bring my calories up to maintenance level, no longer at a deficit for weight loss. I can bring them up. And so now I can actually run and I can eat more food. And now I can start to build my cardiorespiratory system for overall longevity. So it's, again, cardio is great. But if you're on the weight loss journey, be careful because you're going to experience exactly what you're experiencing right now. Your appetite spikes and you are going to smell that sugary, salty food a mile away. I hope that helps, my friend. Okay, really quick. Guys, I know we just dove right into it. Again, I hope these answers are helping you all on your journey. I'm here to serve however I possibly can. And plus, this is just a lot of fun for me. Kelly Myersfield also, she said, huge life-changing wins with carb cycling. This is awesome. Oh, yeah, wait a second. Hold on. Kelly, you're on Facebook and Instagram. Kelly, you're everywhere right now. So awesome. Brooklyn Bud Tender. What's up, New York City? Hey, I'm going to be in New York next week. Going to be on guys, set your, I don't think they have DVRs anymore, but just set your schedule because going to be on Good Morning America on Thursday and Friday of next week, the 26th and 27th. It's going to be a blast. We're doing wellness on a budget. And we're also going to be doing a breakfast. It's a breakfast fast food face-off. So I'm taking my high protein recipes and we're going head to head with some of the most popular breakfast fast foods out there. So tune in. It's going to be a blast. And I don't know how many people here watch Good Morning America on a regular basis, but they just moved studios. Today was their very first broadcast from their brand new studio. It's the massive Disney headquarters in New York City, and it is gorgeous. So I am super stoked to head out there next week and rock a couple segments with the crew over there. By the way, I must say, for those of you who do watch, what you see is what you get. That whole morning crew right there, from Robin to Lara to Michael to George to Gio. I mean, they are the nicest people in the world. There's a reason why why everyone loves them, because they are lovable people. That's for sure. So anyway, tune in. It's going to be a blast. All right, guys, really quick. I need your participation here. So please drop it in the comments and I'll call you guys out as we go. But here we go. What is one thing that you can do today that your future self will thank you for? I'm going to make you guys think on this one, and not just think, but I also said the magic word. It's not one thing you can think about today. It's one thing you can do today. So what are you going to do today that your future self is going to thank you for? Drop it in the comments so I can call you guys out and acknowledge you. Let's see here. Yes, Wendy, drink more water. Diane says, eat healthy. I love this. All right, Insta. Help us out here. Here we go. Veronica 73 says, exercise and eat healthy. Beautiful. Oh, beautiful. Red Rose Image says, selling my art. I love it. She's not just thinking about the wellness journey. I mean, this is all part of it. It's a holistic journey. I love that. Okay, Mrs. Angel says, functional exercise. I love it. Travel Girl, exercise. Restore Fitness 2020, beautiful. Journaled. Guys, I mean, it's not woo-woo stuff. Anytime that you're having thoughts and feelings and emotions, if you can journal it, if you can get it from your mind onto paper, onto something that's tangible, as we say, if you can, whether it's good or bad, if you can name it, you can tame it. And so it's beautiful to journal whatever it is that you're thinking and feeling. It's just such a powerful thing. There you go. Nat for French, make a start. Renee Korn, walk. Love it. Gen 5 Jag, meal prep. Let's go. I'm going to be meal prepping today as well, as a matter of fact. I missed meal prep yesterday because of Father's Day, but don't think for a second there wasn't making food in the kitchen. It wasn't meal prep. Well, maybe it was. Rubes. Well, we made a high protein banana cream pie. We also made a high protein chocolate cream pie, which was delicious. Okay, here we go. Over here to Facebook. Caden Hayes says, stay hydrated. Terry Mercer, drink more water, walking a little bit further each day. Yes, your future self is going to love you for this. Stacy Loren Capadona. What's up, Stacy? I'll never forget your last name. I love saying it. It says, move your body. Mirage, we're talking swaps. That's what it's all about. Swapping a salad for a sugar craving. Yeah, and by the way, just ease off the ease off that cardio, and that salad will be a lot easier to get down. Kelly, water to 80 ounces. Beautiful. Real quick water tip for everybody. Again, it's heating up out there. Just easy rule of thumb, half your body weight in ounces every single day. You've probably heard me say it before. It's just a friendly reminder. Half your body weight in ounces every day when you're drinking your water. Flavor your water. And here's a rule that I'm not kidding you. I came up with this probably 20 years ago, and I was having my clients do it, and it has stuck for a lot of people. And I just want to give it to anyone who it might help. We do something called the 10 gulp rule. Every time that bottle touches your lips, you take 10 gulps before putting it down, and it is so much easier to get your water in by the end of the day. It sounds crazy, but it works. I can't tell you. I literally just got a message the other day from someone who's like, dude, I started your 10 gulp rule like 10 years ago, and it's worked for me ever since. And it's like, cool. Simple stuff, guys. The simpler it is, the easier it is to stick. The easier it is for you to adopt it. Jennifer Town says, lose weight. Yeah, of course. I love that. Okay, let me see. Julie, exercise even if you're not feeling it. 1,000%. And here's the thing. If you're not feeling it, just go through the motions. Just commit to a warm-up. And even if you warm up, that's a win. Anything beyond that, that's just gravy. But if you just move your body, you've won. Keep that in mind. Mary Clo, lift some weights. There you go. I love it. Monica says more movement. Debbie Rideout, get more sleep. There we go. I love it, guys. Oh, Angela Gonzalez Rebhan says, protect my peace. Guys, this is a huge part of the wellness journey too. It's not just about diet and exercise. We talked about journaling, protecting your peace, sometimes saying no, setting a boundary. Certainly know this is something I need to work on. I haven't mastered it by any stretch. I tend to be a people pleaser without trying to put in a label on and stick it to my identity. But nevertheless, I think that's a huge thing. Protect your peace. Say no. Set a boundary. It's huge. Here we go. Donna, I'm right there with you, Donna Stina. What's up, my friend? She says sleep routine. Yeah, 1,000%. I got 8.5 hours last night. I feel like a freaking champ. I was up at 5 o'clock this morning. I literally rose out of bed just like, let's go. It was incredible. But of course, it required me going to bed at a pretty reasonable time last night, which is also it's a wonderful little hack for weight loss, because the earlier you go to bed, the less likely you are to late night snack, which is the red zone for most of us. And it is for me too. Trust me, I'm not, again, this is one of those things. I'm not sitting here telling you I've mastered it all, but let me tell you straight up, when I start going to bed earlier, I start leaning out more. Go figure. It just works that way, because just like everybody else, when I'm up late, I just start, my hands just want to start reaching into boxes, and I start opening up the fridge without even realizing it. I just kind of float over there, and I'm all of a sudden the refrigerator opens, and I just kind of come to because the light's on. It's like, why am I even back in the fridge right now, or the pantry? Go to bed early. Believe it or not, it's the craziest thing. Amy Clements, I'm right there with you, my friend. No alcohol. That's yes, your future self will absolutely thank you for that one. Not just your future self tomorrow, but your future self forevermore. Again, enjoy your alcohol when, in moderation, at events, whatever that is. But man, it's one of those things. The more you can scale back on it, the more your future self will absolutely thank you. Okay, my friends, here we go. I got one more question for you. Would you rather take a cold shower or a 20-minute walk right now, however it is outside? Cold shower, 20-minute walk. What would it be? That's my question for you. What's it going to be? The cold shower or the 20-minute walk? Let's see. Yo, ahoy. Yolana. Akosamash. Eddie says walk. Chris Rawlings. What up, Chris? Says walk. Susan Logan. Look, all these. Everybody says walk. I love it. Moxylicious Life. Stephanie 81 Love. Cynthia. What's up? Deanna. Susan Logan. Everybody says walk. Oh, man. I made that one too easy. This one's supposed to be challenging. There we go. Thank you. Nancy Narvez and Nicole Jordan. They said walk. Or I'm sorry, they both said cold shower. I love it. That's so funny. Yeah. How about all my friends who are right here in Arizona? Would you walk or would you cold shower right now? Because it's only 108 degrees outside right now. Come on, let's hear it from my Arizona friends or my Florida friends. Dude, Eddie, hold on. Eddie said walk, and it's got to be like 91 or 92 degrees in Florida right now, like 90% humidity. It's like something crazy. Oh, man. I'll tell you what, I'll take a cold shower. As long as, I mean, here's the thing. And I've talked about this all the time. I just do cold every morning, and once you get used to it, it's not that bad. You definitely get used to it. There we go. Now my AZ peeps are in the house. Veronica says, there we go. Veronica, it's 110 in Phoenix. Veronica says cold shower. Cynthia says walk, then cold shower. There you go, Cynthia. Now we're talking. Rock and roll mom, cold shower. See, there, it's funny. All around the United States, everyone says walk, except, Arizona, Florida, Texas. They're like, I'll take the cold shower. Man, I'm right there with you guys. All right. Yo, guys. Oh, Nafis Muhammad says, I'm in Florida and I'll still take the walk. That's awesome. All right, here we go. Susan, I'm with you. Yeah, 110 in Phoenix. You guys have got us beat by 2 degrees. We're 108 right now in Mesa. Okay, guys. Hey, thanks for playing. Now I will put myself on the hot seat. If you guys have any questions, fire away. Let's have some fun. Any questions here? Let's see. Go ahead. Fire away, my friends. Nancy. Oh, Nancy says, Chris, do I ice plunge? I do. I have a cold plunge. I keep it at 42 degrees. But here's the thing. I'll shoot you guys straight here. I don't do it for any, and I know there's a handful of benefits that have been touted as far as cold plunging goes. Believe it or not, a lot of the whole concept around weight loss, the stimulation of brown fat, there is a stimulation of brown fat. As far as weight loss goes, there isn't a whole lot of evidence that's actually suggesting that it helps with weight loss. In fact, it does increase appetite a little bit, which is that I literally read a study today that came out that was talking about cold plunging increasing appetite. Here's the thing, but those cold plunges were also for a long period of time. We're talking like well beyond 5-10 minutes. Here's the thing. Do I cold plunge? I do. In fact, I can't tell you the last time I didn't wake up first thing in the morning and jump into either a super cold shower or a super cold plunge. I do not do it for any sort of physiological benefit as far as like resistance training, muscle growth, anything goes, because if you cold plunge after resistance training, it actually kills that stimulus for growth. And so I don't want that. It actually reduces inflammation. And inflammation is necessary for muscle growth. I will cold plunge for longer periods of time, like maybe 2 to 3 minutes, if my joints hurt, especially after maybe say doing like a long bout of cardio the previous day, and I'm experiencing some joint inflammation and some pain there, I will cold plunge because I just want to get that inflammation down. But here's the catch also. Inflammation is also the body's healing response. So I might be able to relieve pain doing it, but it's not necessarily speeding up the healing, because we want that. We want the inflammation because it can actually help with the healing. So, and I'm not talking about gut inflammation or anything like that. I'm talking about joint inflammation. So I don't cold plunge for long. In fact, I only cold plunge, believe it or not, guys, I'm only in there for maybe 30 to 45 seconds, whether it's a cold shower or whether it's a plunge or whatever. Reason being, what I do want, and this is what it's awesome for. It's awesome for adrenaline. I want that massive spike of adrenaline and cortisol. Adrenaline is basically It's epinephrine. What's norepinephrine? They call it norepinephrine when it hits the brain, but it's released as adrenaline from the kidneys. It's the same compound, essentially. I want that, and I want cortisol. I want those to spike first thing in the morning, because if I can get my cortisol way up high in the morning, it actually allows it goes through this natural rhythm, and it's going to drop. It's the part of the circadian rhythm, right? And it's going to drop, and I sleep deeper at night. But when I cold plunge in the morning, just for about 30 to 45 seconds, I don't want to plunge more. It lights me up. And so I've got incredible energy. And with all that, the release of adrenaline, there's a big dopamine release. And so I get this incredible focus. And I'm able to work really hard, really well, and stay focused for several hours afterward. So I combine that cold with a little bit of caffeine. And then this is where I do a little bit of cardio, not much. I just do like a couple all-out sprints. No more than 5 minutes of cardio. Again, adrenaline, to get the adrenaline up and cortisol up. And then I get sunlight in the eyes. It's all part of my morning ritual. So long-winded answer to, do I cold plunge? I do, but I keep it really short, because all I do it for is for adrenaline. That's it, because I want the mental clarity and the focus. That's nothing more. Or if my body's all beat up from, doing long runs and stuff like that, there you go. All right, Laura. This one just came flying through. What are some good breakfast suggestions for a teenager who is active with soccer? Okay, so here's the thing. First of all, find out what they love to eat on a regular basis. And so meet them halfway. This is, by the way, it's not just a teenager. This kind of goes for every human. Figure out what they love right now. What if maybe your teenager loves cereal? Well, guess what? You can actually have them eating their cereal, because they're playing soccer, so they're burning a lot of calories. And you can get that super high protein milk, like Fairlife. Are you familiar with like that Fairlife high? It's that filtered milk with like 14 grams of protein per cup. And so you can always just switch out the milks to throw it in there, so they're getting adequate protein for proper reparation and everything. And also just to help get adequate protein for all the other right reasons that we need it. Or, you can't go wrong with eggs. And here's the thing. What can't you eat? I mean, let me tell you, you know what I make around here for my kiddos? We do, like yesterday, we did eggs Benedict. I literally just made a banana cream pie that we were literally snacking on at breakfast, because I made it with Core Power shakes and banana cream jello and some gelatin. And I mean, we can and sliced up bananas. And so you can literally, with a little bit of creativity, you can make dessert for breakfast. You can't go wrong with shakes. They're fantastic. We do a ton of protein pancakes and protein waffles. And so you can take your regular, your pancake mix and add a couple scoops of a deliciously flavored meal replacement shake. Like we'll do sometimes banana cream. Well, here we go, banana cream again. But we'll do banana cream pie pancakes. We do a blueberry cheesecake pancakes. We'll do strawberry cheesecake waffles with the strawberries and cream whey protein. Blend it in with your pancake mix, and you make it a batter, and then it just makes the most delicious pancakes. So yeah, there's all kinds of things. Here's the issue. I know so many of us came up thinking that in order to live this healthy lifestyle, we got to just simplify it down to, egg whites and veggies and chicken breast and broccoli. And if you are eating starches because you're active, it's going to be baked potatoes. And no. Let's get way more creative with this. Now, granted, are real, whole, natural, single ingredient foods good for you? They're freaking amazing for you. I don't ever think for a second that I'm not saying that. They're incredible. But at the same time, if we're coming from eating, McGriddles and Frappuccinos, well, let's take some baby steps here. Let's just go from A to B, and let's make a Frappuccino that's got a little bit of whey protein in there and reduce the sugar, so you're not going to experience some crazy hunger and cravings, within 30 minutes, and you're going to go smash 600 more calories. Let's bring the fats down on the McGriddles, right? And bring the protein up, so you're going to feel fuller longer. So it's like we can get all kinds of creative. I know that, and by the way, I mean that, and this is kind of where my approach has gone for the last couple of years. This is why I'm so obsessed with making food now, because I've realized that it connects with so many of us who've really struggled to make those switches, to swap things out and to adopt a healthier lifestyle. It's like, wait a second, we can make this really delicious. Which, by the way, yes, I am In fact, my recipe book with over 100 of my favorite recipes and the collective's favorite recipes, I am going to be rolling it out in probably about a month or so. Stay tuned for it. We don't have a date on it yet, but I'll let you guys know. And that's exactly what it is. It's just taking all of our favorites and making them really delicious, but high in protein and low in sugar. Those are the two main things we're going for. Now, granted, I always try to increase fiber whenever I can, and lots of voluminous foods like volumizing with veggies as much as possible. But I'm still not going to tread on the fact that I'm not going to mess with the fast food experience. That's what I want to give to everybody, is a fast food experience, but that's high in protein and low in sugar. So I'm super stoked about it. Yo, Restore Fitness 2020 says the core power pudding is one of the best recipes you've shared. Yo, we're just scratching the surface there with those core power shakes. I mean, we can make all kinds of magic. I know I was just talking about the banana cream pie, but we can do like tapioca, different like variations of tapioca, lemon puddings. I actually make these cream pies with it. So like the lemon custard pie and the coconut cream pie and the banana cream pies, like I'll make those with those core power shakes. So you can do puddings, you can do pies, we can do cheesecakes with them as well. We just did a strawberry cheesecake, you guys, with core power shakes. 42 grams. So we're talking 84 grams of protein in this strawberry cheesecake that legit tastes like a strawberry cheesecake. It's gonna knock your socks off. And the thing is, once you realize that you can actually do this, guys, man, it just opens up a whole new world of possibility and hope, especially for the people who've just tried to grind through just, eating that chicken and broccoli and be like, oh, I just can't do this. No, you don't have to. So yeah, we're working on it, guys. Don't worry, that the recipe book is coming soon. I'll let you guys know when. All right, here we go. Let me see. Leslie, amazing. Guys, let's give Leslie some love. She's down 100 pounds. Good job, Leslie. She worked so hard to achieve this. I have no doubt that you have. Lots of sweat and salads. Just had surgery and can't work out for 8 weeks. Okay. You're scared of gaining the weight back. Any advice to help you stay on track? All right, here's the thing. I have definitely worked with a lot of people through the weight loss journey. And I don't know if you ever saw my show, but that's what we did. We helped people lose the weight, and then they would actually have surgery to remove the skin. I'm not sure if that was your surgery, but this can be a really challenging time because you're not allowed to move. So first of all, I do want to make something crystal clear in that while movement was absolutely incredible and also helped accelerate your results as far as getting you down 100 pounds, the driving force is your nutrition. And so while you're down and out, until you get the green light from your doctors, nutrition is going to continue to be that driving force, except now in this little chapter in which you just need to allow your body to heal. So obviously getting all of your rest and following the doctor's advice, nutrition is going to be more important than ever. And that can be a real challenge, especially when you don't have that endorphin release from the movement and you don't have that sense of accomplishment when you're completing, when you set out to do, 10,000 steps, or you set out to do a small workout or something like that, there's a payoff. You feel good about yourself, and you don't have that right now. So this is a challenge. I love the fact, though, that just the fact alone that you're reaching out says that you are aware of this. And you're also aware that this can be a really tricky time, a huge challenge as you're going through this. I really hope you have a support system. And so whoever it is that's close to you right now, that you can lean on them right now, it's very important that you're going to share this with them, share your fears, and so that they can support you along the way. And so I think one of the best things you could probably do is to prepare yourself for the next 8 weeks is what I guess that's what your downtime is going to be. So if you can start to meal prep, I know, don't be scared of meal prep, guys. It doesn't take an hour. You can literally do it in 15 to 20, maybe even 30 minutes. When you start to get decent at it, or if you've got some help, my friend Leslie, if you do, that could be absolutely incredible. If you got someone to actually help you out with this so that you're well prepared, so that when you do experience any sort of hunger or cravings, two different things, you start to experience some cravings, you've got the right food there when you need it. That's probably going to be one of the most important things, because chances are you're going to reach for it. Next thing, especially when you're down and out, boredom. It's probably one of the most powerful triggers. Especially when you are just waiting for that green light. 8 weeks can be it can feel like an eternity. So you have to keep yourself busy. You find a project that you can start working on to keep your mind busy. And then that awareness is everything. So if you want to stop some sort of behavior from happening, you have to have that reminder when you start to experience it, so you can like snap yourself out of it. It's like reminder, and then you go through an alternative response, reminder, routine, reward. In the world of psychology, that's how you change behavior. So you're aware of it. Beautiful. Step number one, be prepared. Have the right food available when you need it, because that is imperative for the next eight weeks. And then when you do start to experience those cravings, have a reminder. Take yourself through the routine that you need, whether it's a distraction or whatever it is, because the average trigger might last about 15 minutes or so. So navigate through those 15 minutes and then give yourself a reward. So instead of, ordering DoorDash, which is going to run you $20, go drop $10 on something you wanted at Amazon, where you have to reward that routine, and you can start to build those new neural connections. And the more you do that, rinse and repeat, neurons that fire together, wire together. Anyway, I hope that helps. I know it's a little bit of a wordy response, but guys, I understand this goes for everybody. If you're trying to change behavior, or if you're about to go through something that's going to be a challenge, like Leslie was just talking about, hey, this is the stuff that really works. Okay, my friends, here we go. Again, I really hope this is helping y'all along the way. Let me see here. Poker Master says we need more seasons of extreme weight loss. Man, I had so much fun. Those were just incredible years. It was such a beautiful experience for me, and I made lifelong friends in the process, helping my peeps through the journey, and it was really incredible. So I would love to. It would look very different. I think we all know this. It's a very different conversation now, and as much as we tried to focus on the mental aspect of the journey and everything, hey guys, the research, the science changes. And I wish we could do it all over again, because it would be very different. There would be so much more flexibility. There would be a lot less, kettlebells flying and tires flipping and all that stuff. And probably just a lot more walking. So to be honest with you, the show might get really boring just because it's not guys, the journey of weight loss is not, screaming and throwing weights around or anything like that. It's really quite peaceful. And it's just the running joke, guys, this is actually for all the seasons, but the running joke behind the scenes was like, the real secret to weight loss is right here. It's right here. And everyone would do this for like, this is where you're losing weight. It's just moving. It's like this. It's putting in your steps. Those are the people that just smashed it. They were just consistently right here, not throwing this over here and screaming and crying. It makes for good TV. Trust me, I was there. It's good. And granted, we did use, like that, the fight or flight workout to help people overcome, number one, a fear of themselves, of what they're actually capable of. Most people had no idea. And so we utilize those experiences to show everyone just what they've got in here and how powerful they are, how powerful you are. And I guarantee you, a lot of the people that are listening to this right now, you have no idea what you're actually capable of, which is way more than you think. So that was a fun part of the intense workouts. But the real fat loss part, super boring. Just right here. This is where it's all done. And you just rinse and repeat day after day after day. And then you just watch the body change. So that's a fun part. All right, let me see. Lena, great question here. She says, what's more beneficial? Walking longer with more steps, or walking with an incline but less steps? Well, they're both incredible, to be honest with you. So instead of talking about the incline, here's what I will talk about. This massive study was done. In fact, the largest study ever on the benefits of walking and steps for longevity, for all-cause mortality is the term that they used. And so they looked, I don't know exactly how large the population was that they pulled the data from, but it was in the tens of thousands. And this was the study that I'm sure many of us have probably heard, the whole concept between like 4,000 and 8,000 steps. Every extra 1,000 steps decreases your rate of all-cause mortality by 15%. Like, that's insane. And so this was a study that everyone went, oh my gosh, when people from 4,000 steps on, every 1,000 steps that you do daily decreases your risk of dying by 15%. Those are astronomical numbers. And by the way, but again, the population size was so huge. They're like, this is legitimate data. This is very legitimate data, which is amazing. But here's something that's really cool that they found. And this, by the way, Lena, this will actually go back to your question. They found that the intensity of the steps, so how fast they walked, I don't know, 8,000 steps, 6,000 steps, 10,000 steps, how fast they walked those steps did not have nearly as strong an impact on their decrease in mortality rates. So basically, they're living a longer life, but the speed at which they walked those steps did not have the same impact as just the number of steps alone. So whether you walked 8,000 steps in, over the course of, I don't know, 2 hours, 2.5 hours, whatever, or if you walked them in an hour 30 and you just, hey, then regardless, or maybe it was, 2 hours versus someone who took 3 hours, didn't matter. 8,000 steps was 8,000 steps. So it's that's an interesting one there. However, that's going to be all-cause mortality. However, you put that thing at an incline or you want to walk some steps faster, guess what? There's going to be a greater cardiorespiratory response. So there will be better benefits for your heart and lungs and for your cardiovascular system. So for all of your vessels. And so the thing is, it kind of depends on what you're looking for. Either way, it's a win no matter what. You're burning calories, you're building joint strength, bone strength, you're stimulating your lymphatic system, you're stimulating your cardiorespiratory system. I mean, we can go on forever talking about the benefits of steps and walking, guys. It's a win all around. So I hope that helps. I'd say switch them up, do both. Do incline walking, high intensity, then take it flat and just knock out the steps. You're going to win. Okay, let's go. Let's see. 151 Veronica says, Chris, which trail on Camelback? Echo Canyon. I do like Echo Canyon over Cholla. They're both cool, but I don't know why Cholla just freaks me out sometimes. There's some pretty gnarly spots on Cholla that even though it's a little bit more shallow, but Echo Canyon is, man, it's so much fun. It's the classic one also. All right, here we go. Here we go. Looking for some more questions. I don't see many questions here, but holy smokes. Nafis logged 65,000 steps in the past 3 days. Holy smokes. That is incredible. That's unbelievable. All right. Guys, we're making good progress here. Let me see. Stephanie, what's up? Stephanie says, late to the party. How many calories did goat yoga burn? Yeah, probably more calories of me just trying to take pictures and videos because it was too much fun. I mean, you can only make it halfway through the flow, and all of a sudden these little goats are jumping up on you and running between your legs. For those of you who are wondering what I'm talking about, my kids for Father's Day, they gave me a certificate to go do something called goat yoga here in Arizona. And it was actually a lot of fun. I was worried about it being outside. And it was like, 106 degrees or something. But it was actually beautiful. The sun was setting and you're out there with all these little baby goats, and they're actually specially trained goats. And so like while you're actually doing yoga, they're literally like running between your legs or hopping up on your shoulders. And it was a lot of fun. So if you ever find yourself in Gilbert, Arizona, check out AZ Goat Yoga. It was a blast. All right. Oh, okay. Rafio 5670. What do I recommend for someone who has foot complications due to diabetes or injury? Here's the catch there. It's out of my scope of practice because that one is absolutely going to be up to your doctor. or your physical therapist who your doctor has passed you on to, just depending on your condition and your specific situation. And so unfortunately, I wish I could help, but it's just something I can't speak to, but I also shouldn't because I just don't know. I'm not licensed, and also I just don't know your specific condition. So good luck. But first of all, I do want to acknowledge you though for reaching out to look for solutions, because that says that you want to do something about it. And I cannot commend you enough for taking action on that. And so, yeah, reach out to your doctor, and I'd say get on it today and see what you could possibly do as far as just getting yourself moving, so you can get you can get that foot back in order. And I tell you what, maybe in the meantime, maybe I'm just going to throw this out there as a suggestion. Obviously, if you can't do anything weight bearing like walking or running or anything like that, see if you can maybe get on a bike. I will tell you this again, I'm not a licensed practitioner or anything. I am, that's out of my scope of practice, but here's what we ended up doing with any individuals on our show who might have had foot injuries. And we actually did have a decent amount of plantar fasciitis. If you guys are familiar with that, it's gnarly. It's the inflammation of the muscles that actually they span the bridge of the foot. So what we would end up doing is that just walking and running was so painful. So we put them on a bike, but you just put your heel on the bike. So don't put your toe on the bike. So you're not plantar flexing. You just put your heel on the bike. And so there's no tension right here in the fascia of the foot. You can put your heel on there, and then they would simply cycle that way. And that way they can still get that deep muscular contraction, especially if they've cranked up the resistance a little bit. So the glutes, quads, and hams are firing. And that's all we want. The biggest muscles in the body just going through a regular contraction, contract. That's burning calories right there. So we just put them on the bike, turn on the TV, and they just cruise. And then over time, the inflammation goes down, plantar fasciitis is gone, and they're back on their feet and they're moving again. And so I don't know, I'm just gonna throw that out there as something that you could bring up maybe in conversation with your doctor. So I hope that helps. All right. Here we go. Let me see, looking for some more questions. I know there's quite a few came through here. Okay. Let's tackle this one here. Oh man, great. Oh my gosh. So many good ones now coming in. Jan Cortez, I think. Jan Cortez. She's cut to 1,400 calories a day. Increased protein to 120 grams a day. The weight still won't budge. Okay. I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to guess that just based on that alone, and I can just feel the frustration, I think that you're probably very meticulous about your approach here, Jan. And I think that you're probably doing everything that you possibly can do right. And if you are, fantastic. So I'm going to make a couple suggestions here. I'm going to throw out a couple questions. You don't necessarily have to answer, but this is for everybody to just hear, because this is going to be my approach to it. So she's at 1,400 calories a day now, that's low. And then she's got her proteins up high. So she's hitting adequate protein targets, which is legit. That's awesome. I'm thrilled there, but the weight just won't budge. So curious as to what your daily movement is. And this is where we want to start to increase your expenditure with steps, not with cardio, with steps. I don't know if you were here earlier, but I had a whole long talk about that, the benefits of walking over cardio. So I would highly recommend that. Then I'm also going to ask though, how's your hydration? Because the thing is, if you're not properly hydrating, then your body will actually, it's not that you're not losing the fat underneath, but your body will actually retain water. It's supposed to do this. If you're not adequately hydrated, have your body weight in ounces every day just to be minimally hydrated. And that's just a rule of thumb. But if you're not doing that, then your body will actually respond by retaining water and bloating. So I know it's counterintuitive, but if you really want to make sure that you're getting a realistic look at the work that your body's doing and the fat that it's mobilizing and oxidizing, drink enough water. I always love to use, there's a analogy of like, well, I won't bore you guys with it, but drink enough water. Okay. Then when you do that, I always do this analogy in the challenge just to give everyone like a really good idea for how it works. Okay. I'm going to tell you guys, look, your body's brilliant, right? It's got a mind of its own. It is built for survival. There's a reason why the human being has survived for tens of thousands of years. It's because the systems from the neck down, and of course, all the stuff that you think you're using, but all the capability in your brain is so untapped, but it's literally there to help you survive. But let's just say you are in the desert, and I just give you like 10 canteens, empty canteens, and I'm going to give you one full one, right? And you set out across the sandy desert, and you just go over one hill, and you go over that first hill, and all of a sudden, well, here, this is how we'll put it. There's a big pool of water. What are you going to do? You're going to fill up all those canteens, right? Because you have no idea when you're going to see some water again. And then you pick up all those canteens, and you're going to be carrying them, right? And then all of a sudden, you go over another hill, and there's another pool of water. And you go, oh, okay, well, I drank one. I'll fill it up again because I don't know when I'm going to get water again. You go over another hill. There's another pool of water. Okay, well, shoot, all these, and I see all these very similar hills ahead, and I go, well, I'm just going to unload some of these because I don't want to carry all these canteens. So you go over another one. There's another thing of water. There's another thing of water. There's another thing of water. And all of a sudden, I'm going to start unloading these canteens. And before you know it, I'm just going to have one left because I know that there's water over every single hill. But now what if it's the opposite? What if all of a sudden you go over a hill and there's no water? You're going to go, oh man, I wish I had those canteens. So you go run back and start grabbing all your canteens again because like, oh, wait a second. I need it moving forward. Body does it the exact same way. If you keep giving your body water, it goes, I don't need all this water. I can start flushing it. If you don't give it any water and your body's dehydrated, then it's going to actually retain that water. It'll usually do so. It takes about 3 days for your body to build your body's trust. So if you don't give it adequate water for about 3 days, you're going to start to retain water. Anyway, so Jan, back to your whole thing. I digress. I knew I was probably, if I ran off in that analogy, I was going to get lost in this. So anyway, here we go. Going back to your situation. Are you adequately hydrated? Are you managing your stress? Both for cravings, because a lot of times stress is such a powerful trigger, but on top of that, also cortisol. If you're stressed, guess what? Same thing. Your body's going to try to hang on to water. Notice I'm saying water. If 1400 is a calorie deficit and you're actually moving enough, the magic is happening underneath the surface. You just can't see it yet. All you need to do is just take the blanket of water off, and it's there. So the magic is happening. Or if you have, here's my next question. Again, you don't have to answer it, but have you been at a calorie deficit for a long period of time? If you have, your body will actually go through metabolic adaptations. It will start to become more metabolically efficient, which is not a good thing. We don't want that on the weight loss journey, because metabolic efficiency means that you're actually starting to expend less and less energy as your body starts literally shutting down little systems here and there as it's becoming efficient. We don't want that. So this is why the closer you get to your goal, the more diet breaks you need, or in our world, we call them slingshots. That's where we just simply slingshot your metabolic rate back up a little bit. Here's another question. Have you been following a low carb diet for quite some time? Because believe it or not, if you do follow a low carb diet for a long period of time, it actually starts to suppress thyroid conversion in your liver, of all things. Do you know that half your thyroid is actually converted, actually more than half is converted in your liver? Yes, it's produced here, but it's converted in the liver. And low carbohydrate diets, they actually slow thyroid conversion in your liver. So keep that in mind. And that's actually why this is another benefit of carb cycling. Because if you actually cycle some carbs in there every couple of days, you actually jack up your thyroid conversion in your liver, and you actually get a metabolic boost. Keep that in mind, guys. Cycle carbs in there every once in a while. Did you hear what I just said? It converts, literally clears the fatty acids out of your bloodstream because of the insulin, clears the fatty acids, and then now your liver can now convert more thyroid. Look it up. Don't take my word for it. Literally just do a Google search or ChatGPT. Say, ChatGPT, what's the deal with low carb diets and thyroid conversion in the liver? Does it suppress the metabolic rate? It's going to pull all the research for you so you can see for yourself. But this is another beauty of carb cycling. So you can start to overwrite it. But so, Jan, where I'm going to go with this, if you've been meticulous about this, your expenditure is good, your intake is solid right now, your protein's amazing, and it just doesn't make sense on paper, and you're like, what the heck is going on? This is where you might need a little bit of a diet break, where you're just going to take, say, a week or 2 weeks, bring yourself up to maintenance calories, just to reset the hormonal mechanisms as far as your hunger mechanisms go, but also increased thyroid conversion in the liver, etc. Also, it's, just like your body goes through metabolic adaptation from a deficit, sometimes even a slight surplus, guess what? Metabolic adaptation as well. So why not even take it to maintenance or even a slight surplus? I know it's not where you want to go, but do that for a week or even 2 weeks. Number one, chances are if you're hanging on to water, your body will release it. And number two, as soon as you drop back into that deficit at 1,400 calories and 120 grams of protein, you're going to see it drop. We do this on a regular basis in the collective with my peeps. And sure enough, they drop. So just wanted to throw that out there. And I really hope that helps. You need more and more breaks the closer you get to your goal. Diet breaks, slingshots is what we call them. I hope that helps. All right, my friends. Oh, let me see here. And for anyone who's asking about the collective and becoming a part of that, the only way to become a part of the collective is you've got to go through a challenge first. I do 2 challenges a year. And the reason why we do that, it's not like this exclusive thing. It's just the fact that we want you to have foundational knowledge of all this stuff I'm talking about, because it's really important that you establish that foundation. And then when you move into the collective, this is where we apply it. And we carb cycle. And then we do, like tonight, we're going to be doing 1 minute muscle, which is what we do for our resistance training to help maintain our muscle, etc. So I will be doing my next challenge. We'll be opening the doors in August for a September kickoff. You can always join the wait list. It's on my website, chrispowell.com. So if you guys want, you can always just check it out. You kind of see what the whole thing's about. But yeah, we do the challenge, moves right into the collective. And it's a challenge, but it's a course. It's this, like we actually do. It's mostly teaching how your incredible body works. And so if it's something you're interested in, go ahead and you can just throw yourself on the wait list. We'll let you know when the doors open up and you'll get first come, first serve. Okay. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Thanks for the kind words. And again, I just hope this is going to help some of you who are on your journey. Because here's the thing. Anyone who's going to go through the weight loss journey, you're going to run into a plateau. It's not if, but when. And so it's really important to understand that a plateau is not the end of the journey right there. A plateau is probably one of the most beneficial things we can actually run into, because it tells us exactly where we are. And then we in the collective, through the challenges and everything, we go through a process called playing the next card. It's like playing poker with your body. So sure enough, when your body plateaus, you go, oh, cool. I understand exactly what's happening now. You played the next card. And then you start getting results, and then you plateau and you go, oh, play the next card, play the next card. You never show your body the entire hand at once. No, you keep the game going, just playing one card at a time. Works really, really well that way. Let me see. Yeah, Kay Kane. So she was on Ozempic for 7 months, lost an amazing 70 pounds, huge. And she's stuck. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Because you're on Ozempic, I have no doubt that it's easy for you to be at a calorie deficit. However, a calorie deficit is stressful. So I guarantee your cortisol is up. I guarantee that your body is probably retaining a little bit of water, or there was metabolic adaptation. I would say there's a good percentage of the individuals who are in the collective right now who are using GLP-1 medications. I'm all for it. I think they're an incredible tool for some, and they're not for others. And so if you're on it, whether you're on it or off, so much the approach is the same, except obviously we have to be very, very careful, especially with these GLP-1s, that you're not at too severe of a calorie deficit, because if you're losing more than 1% of your body weight a week, anything above that, it's mostly coming from muscle. 1% is the sweet spot as far as fat loss goes. As long as you're resistance training, then we can spare your muscle, which is everything that you need. That's your metabolic engine. You got to have it on the weight loss journey. Otherwise, you are screwed when you cross that finish line. If you've cannibalized, 40% of your weight loss is muscle, which happens if you don't resistance train and you're on it and you're at a severe deficit, you're putting yourself in a really terrible position, because now your maintenance calories are significantly lower. So now you're all going to be stuck on that medication much longer to try to transition off. Why not spare the most beautiful thing that you have on your body right now, and that is your muscle? Why wouldn't you resistance train to keep that gorgeous muscle, that beautiful muscle, that metabolic engine, while you're going through the weight loss journey? So that's huge. That's why not a severe deficit. 1% a week. You should never aim to lose for more than that. Otherwise, you're hurting yourself in the long run. And so keep that in mind. However, if you find yourself stuck after 70 pounds and you're like, I don't know what's going on, this is where you might need you guys can still and GLP-1 medications or not, a diet break is still really good for you. And so if you could even start to titrate off, actually, you said you got off Ozempic 7 months ago. Got it. Okay. I thought I read it quickly. It said you were on it for 7 months. You got it off 7 months ago. Okay. So I'd be curious number one, is the food noise back? I'm sure you're experiencing more hunger and cravings. If you're still maintaining a good solid calorie deficit, I'd go right back to what I was talking about before with a little bit of a diet break. There's a lot to unpack here I'd have a lot of questions about this one though, but remember guys, there is an answer to every problem. There is a solution, especially understanding how when you understand how your incredible body works, it gives you a lot more appreciation for it. But at the same time, you also realize there's always a reason. You can, and with enough questions and a little bit of time and some maybe a little trial and error, we can figure anything out. So nobody here is broken. So not impossible. It's not impossible. It's impossible. You're not broken. And there's always a way to figure it out. But yes, there's a lot to unpack on that one. My friends, I can't believe how fast an hour just flew by. And I can't thank you guys enough for hanging out with me. It always lights me up. I absolutely love this stuff. Thanks for bringing some amazing questions as well. I got to jump. I was actually supposed to jump into another meeting about 1:40 seconds ago. So I'm going to bail right now. But I will be back, guys. I've been doing this every Monday now for the last month, and I'm having a blast with it. Thank you for your flexibility today. It's normally at 10 o'clock in the morning on Mondays is when I love to just jump in and connect with you guys. Again, Ruby was getting braces on at 10 o'clock this morning. It went a little bit long. Had to go take her to get some ice cream afterward. But great questions, guys. Thanks for bringing it. Collective, I love you guys. Thank you for bringing the love. And also thank you for answering some questions in here as well. You guys are the best. And I will see Collective, my friends. I will see you guys tonight at 1 Minute Muscle. We're going to have some fun. Shoulders, buys, and tries. Yeah, come on. It's going to be a good one. We're doing the gun show tonight. So it'll be a blast. I love you guys. All right. See ya. Have a wonderful rest of your Monday.